Jay Prince can suck my. Mob Ties rapper like gangsters can suck my. You Houston can suck my. I don't give a fuck about none of you. It's Texas on mine, nigga. I run this shit, nigga. Shut your Jay Prince. I'm still talking shit, hoe ass nigga. I made Jay Prince go snitch. I made Jay Prince go snitch on me. Who talking on the investigation? James Prince. And I'm talking to senior.
You thought this was just online chatter? Think again. This story just took a real turn. What started as a simple exchange of words between Charleston White and Jay Prince Jr. has turned into one of the most talked about moments on the internet. A clip dropped, people can't stop replaying it, and now everyone in hip-hop has something to say. When I tell you the tone shifted overnight, I mean it. For a while now, Charleston White's been speaking on Jay Prince Jr., questioning his background and calling out the image he presents. He's been bold with it, saying names, stirring the pot, and testing how far he could push the line. Then, out of nowhere, this new footage lands, and suddenly, social media is on fire. Everyone's weighing in, and opinions are flying fast. But before we even get into that clip, we've got to hit pause, because this isn't just an online disagreement. This goes deeper: loyalty, reputation, and how street talk collides with the music industry.
Man, just keep your mouth closed. Don't speak on it, man. Boy, I done lost all respect for what y'all love and idolize. Man, I lost all respect for Rap-A-Lot Records. Let me just say this. I don't have no respect for Mob Ties. I think Mob Ties is a group of a bunch of weak black men.
Somewhere in the middle of all this, Finesse Two Times got pulled into a situation that's way bigger than just one argument. So let's break it down and see what's really happening behind the headlines, because the backstory is just as wild as the footage everyone's replaying. First off, Jay Prince Jr. isn't just a random figure in hip-hop. He's the son of Jay Prince Sr., the legendary CEO of Rap-A-Lot Records, a major force in shaping Southern rap culture. Jay Prince Sr. helped artists like Scarface rise to fame and has been known for stepping in during major music industry moments, including situations connected to Drake. Jay Prince Sr. has always been known for moving with intention, quiet but powerful. When he speaks, people listen, not because he's the loudest voice in the room, but because his influence carries weight. That kind of reputation doesn't appear overnight. It's built through decades of business, relationships, and consistent presence in Houston and beyond. In hip-hop, power isn't just about record sales, it's about connection, respect, and legacy. And that's exactly what Jay Prince Jr. inherited. Jay Prince Jr. leads Mob Ties, not just a label, but a brand that reflects family values, loyalty, and structure. It's built around the idea of standing firm on principles, and whether people agree or not, that message has given it a clear identity in the culture.
I'm a grown man. What the look like sitting down with Jay Prince? What I look like sitting down with a man because he done called me, hey man, I want to have a sit down. I'm a grown man. I ain't sitting down now. Can't no man tell me shit. I don't listen to nobody.
To them, Mob Ties isn't only about music, it's about maintaining a certain standard. Now enter Charleston White, one of the most polarizing figures on the internet right now. He's a former gang member turned youth advocate who built his platform by saying what most won't. Charleston speaks openly about street culture and fallen artists, which often sparks heated reactions. He challenges rappers, questions their choices, and calls out what he views as negative patterns in the industry. What makes him unpredictable is how he frames it. One moment he's calling people out, the next he's explaining it as tough love meant to push the youth in a better direction. Some call it raw honesty, others call it disrespect, but either way, it keeps him trending and talked about. That's where tension comes in. People connected to Mob Ties might not be reacting to a single comment, but to Charleston's overall approach. He doesn't pull punches, he dives straight in. And right in the middle of all this stands Finesse Two Times, the Memphis artist who signed with Mob Ties. That partnership wasn't just casual, it represented investment, trust, and backing. For a while, everything seemed to move in perfect sync until this latest wave of drama changed the tone. Everything seemed to be moving smoothly, new music dropping, the brand expanding, and momentum growing. From the outside, Mob Ties and Finesse Two Times looked fully aligned. But then something shifted. Viewers began noticing that Finesse Two Times and Charleston White were showing up more often, creating content, joking around, and showing public respect. It didn't look like a random crossover. It looked like a genuine connection forming. And in a world where loyalty holds real weight, that kind of friendship got people talking.
If you don't like what I said, and this go for James Prince and any motherfucker, if you don't like what I say, hit me in the mouth or then leave me alone. James Prince can't tell me shit. Go because hey man, James Prince, nigga, James Prince. And whatever nigga want to sit down and think, I ain't got no money. But if my mama calls, say, son, let's sit down and talk. Yes, ma'am, mama, I'll be over there in a minute.
From a commentary standpoint, it's easy to see why. If Mob Ties sees Charleston White as someone who constantly critiques their image, then one of their artists building a public relationship with him could create tension. Not necessarily betrayal, but definitely a gray area. In spaces where loyalty defines identity, even a gray area can turn into conflict quickly.
So now you've got a mix of history, influence, reputation, activism, and internet culture all colliding. When that footage surfaced, it didn't start the issue. It simply brought long-standing tension to the surface. That's how we ended up here, where the entire timeline feels less like random internet drama and more like the result of pressure that's been building quietly for months. In this world, loyalty isn't just a lyric, it's currency. When you're signed to a team known for legacy and influence, your associations matter. From their perspective, Finesse's connection with someone who challenges that legacy looked like a risky move. J. Prince Jr. didn't mince words about how he felt. His message was that loyalty and respect carry more value than fame or attention. To him, it wasn't about limiting Finesse's growth, it was about staying aligned with the people who invested in him. Reports suggest J. Prince Jr. personally reached out, advising Finesse to keep his focus on music and distance himself from unnecessary online controversy. But according to his account, that advice didn't seem to land. He implied that Finesse was leaning closer to someone he viewed as controversial rather than to his own camp. In hip-hop culture, those kinds of alignments can shift how people perceive relationships, not just professionally, but personally. Charleston White decided to push things even further. He went online and started questioning the image and influence associated with Mob Ties and the Prince family. He said he once respected Jay, but felt that the public back and forth had changed that perception. According to Charleston, true power moves quietly. It doesn't argue online. He even compared today's industry figures to old-school examples from crime films and history, saying real leaders let their presence speak for them. From a commentary standpoint, that was a bold move. Charleston didn't hold back. He directly challenged their mystique and credibility. He even criticized Rap-A-Lot Records, a label long respected for shaping Southern hip-hop. For many in that space, those comments crossed a line, but Charleston stayed firm in his stance. He questioned whether Mob Ties could handle pressure and compared the realities of fame and power to lessons from history, saying that no one is untouchable, a take that stirred up serious debate.
I ain't scared of no. I call the police on them niggas, and them niggas will scatter like roaches. Say them Mob Ties, that's Mob Ties. They don't run Texas. The Texas Rangers run Texas, nigga. The United States Northern District of Federal Court runs Texas. Don't know James Prince runs shit.
Then he took it a step further by mentioning J. Prince Jr. directly, suggesting that his status came from family connections rather than personal grind. In a culture where self-made reputation is everything, that kind of statement hit hard. But from J. Prince Jr.'s side, this wasn't just about insults, it was about strategy. Charleston's brand thrives on controversy. The more people react, the bigger his audience grows. And with Finesse Two Times still appearing alongside him, the tension only intensified. What might have started as simple collaboration began to look like an alliance. And in a structure that values loyalty, how things look can matter as much as what's true. Reports suggest J. Prince Jr. first tried to handle the matter privately through a conversation, a warning, an opportunity to cool things off. That approach lines up with how influential figures usually prefer to operate, quietly, directly, and away from public drama.
But by that point, the situation had already caught fire online, and the narrative was spreading faster than anyone could contain it. Finesse Two Times kept engaging publicly, posting, talking, and appearing in content, and that's when things shifted from quiet tension to full-blown public attention. At that point, J. Prince Jr. stepped forward himself. His message wasn't just aimed at finesse, it was about principle. From his perspective, if you're associated with mob ties, there's a certain way you carry yourself. To him, this wasn't about personal drama, it was about structure, consistency, and reputation. Meanwhile, Charleston White didn't ease up. He continued speaking his mind, and at one point even claimed that J. Prince Sr. had personally invited him to sit down for a conversation, a move many saw as a gesture toward peace. In that world, an invitation like that often signals a chance to clear the air privately and respectfully. But according to Charleston, he declined at first, saying he wasn't interested in meeting. Later, though, he seemed to change his tone, saying he might consider the conversation for Finesse Two Times' sake. That sudden shift made people wonder what had changed. Was it genuine reflection or strategic timing? Once Finesse's name was back in the mix, online chatter ramped up. To some observers, it looked like Charleston was using the situation to keep the spotlight on him. To others, it seemed like he was open to peace, but on his own terms. Either way, the storyline had evolved beyond simple talk.
He run a bunch, don't rap a lot. He run a bunch of weak-ass rap, Finesse Two Times, nigga. But he don't run no protection. Crime Stoppers and Neighborhood Watch program run this shit. I'm a part of the shit that run Texas, the police. So tell James Prince he don't run a thing up here, nigga. James Prince don't run a thing up here. Damn sure ain't never run nothing in Dallas. His sons and them get their ass kicked up here.
Then came the footage everyone's been whispering about. I can't show it here, and it hasn't been officially released, but short clips are reportedly circulating in group chats and online spaces. According to those who claim to have seen it, the video shows Charleston in a moment that contrasts sharply with his bold online persona. The story suggests he was approached unexpectedly, caught off guard, appearing calmer and less confrontational than usual.
Now, none of this has been confirmed or posted publicly by J. Prince Jr. or Mob Ties, which is what makes it even more intriguing. The clip seems to be spreading quietly, without anyone taking direct credit, and in the social media era, that can sometimes have more impact than an official post. When content leaks organically, it can shift perception without anyone openly pushing it. Commentators have been quick to analyze the move. Some believe the quiet circulation might be intentional, not about clout, but about control. By letting the footage exist in whispers rather than headlines, it keeps the conversation going without turning it into an obvious spectacle. Because once something looks too staged or intentional, it can backfire. This way, the situation keeps its mystery and the narrative stays alive. When something spreads quietly through private channels, it feels less like promotion and more like word of mouth, the kind of talk that travels fast but without clear sources. That's exactly what's happening here. Supporters of Charleston White say the clip making rounds is being exaggerated or possibly edited out of context. They argue that Charleston's platform has always been about commentary and social awareness, not street enforcement. From that lens, showing caution in a real-world moment doesn't contradict his message at all. Critics, on the other hand, see it differently. They argue that you can't constantly question others' toughness and then shift the narrative when that same energy shows up in real life. In their eyes, Charleston built a persona around confrontation, and now they're questioning whether that image holds up when things move offline. That tension between activism and authenticity is what's fueling the debate. Adding to the mix is Finesse Two Times' silence. Observers have noticed he's been much less vocal lately. Fewer posts, fewer appearances, and noticeably less visible connection to Charleston. Some reports suggest he might be working to smooth things out with mob ties, possibly to protect his business relationships and keep doors open. From a career standpoint, that move makes sense. In music, relationships are currency, and reputation management can mean survival. Charleston, on the other hand, operates in a completely different lane. His influence lives in commentary and conversation. Controversy keeps his name relevant. But for Finesse, who's navigating an industry built on partnerships, labels, and bookings, controversy can be a liability. In reality, these two men were never chasing the same kind of success. Charleston thrives on debate and disruption. Finesse depends on structure and consistency. When those worlds collide, someone usually learns the hard way that the energy that builds clicks online doesn't always translate the same way offline. Now, the question hanging over everything: does this rumored footage redefine how people view Charleston White, or is it just another storm in the ongoing saga that keeps his name in headlines? One thing's for sure, the story is shifted, and now everyone's watching to see what happens next. Let's talk about what this really means for Finesse Two Times. He's in a complicated position. There's the contract side, the pressure from both Memphis and Houston, and the industry relationships that may be hanging in the balance. On top of all that, there's perception. And in this business, perception can change everything. Pick the wrong side, even unintentionally, and doors can close faster than you realize. J. Prince Jr. has hinted at that idea without saying it outright. His message was clear. If loyalty stayed intact, things could have ended smoothly. That wasn't a threat. It was a reminder about structure, respect, and how business is handled. When communication breaks down, everything gets harder. That alone shows this was never just about online talk. It was about alignment, values, and image. Once loyalty gets questioned in public, it stops being about music and starts being about message. And then there's the footage. What people are reacting to isn't just the clip itself, it's what it symbolizes. Charleston White built a powerful online presence throughout 2024. He positioned himself as outspoken, fearless, and unapologetic, the man who says what others won't. His audience sees him as a commentator who challenges reputations, speaks on culture, and calls out contradictions. But the rumored video, according to those who claim to have seen it, shows a very different side. No bright lights, no live stream, no cheering crowd, just a quieter moment that feels more human. That contrast is what's fueling the conversation now. How much of an online persona survives once real life steps in?
Zooming out, this isn't just a clash between Charleston White and J. Prince Jr. It's a reflection of something bigger happening in hip-hop. We're in an era where commentators can publicly critique icons without immediate backlash. The internet has rewritten the rules. Cameras are everywhere, legal accountability is tighter, and reputation management happens in real time. Back in the 90s or early 2000s, certain lines just weren't crossed out loud. Today, those same lines are crossed daily, and it's all labeled as content. Charleston built his platform on that approach, challenging traditions, questioning legacies, and saying what others avoid. It keeps him trending, but it also puts him at odds with figures like Mob Ties and the Prince family, who represent the older foundation of hip-hop: structure, respect, and legacy. That's what makes this moment so explosive. It's the collision between two worlds, the viral, fast-moving internet culture and the long-standing world of real-life influence. And whenever those two overlap, something is bound to give. Some say this footage is the first real test of Charleston's public image, not through cancel culture or controversy, but through reputation. Others believe it doesn't matter at all, because Charleston never claimed to be a street figure to begin with. He's a commentator, not an enforcer, and his supporters say that distinction matters. Either way, this entire situation exposes how fragile online alliances can be. It shows how quickly partnerships turn to distance, and how easily words meant for entertainment can ripple into real-world consequences. At its core, this isn't just about one clip or one argument. It's about power, reputation, and how quickly the line between content and conflict can blur. Because no matter how digital hip-hop gets, legacy still matters and respect still means something. So now I throw it to you. Do you think this footage changes how people see Charleston? Or is it just another chapter in an ongoing saga that keeps his name alive? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your take. If you found this breakdown interesting, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what unfolds next. And before you head out, check out the next video on your screen for more deep dives into the stories shaping hip-hop today. Trust me, this one's far from over.